What's up, y'all? Still out here at the range, as you can see, putting a whooping on this jelly out here. I've been doing jelly tests all day. I got this one and one more I'm gonna try to squeeze in out here before I head out. But as you can see by the title, this one's definitely something different. A lot of people's been requesting that I do like one caliber against the other. So I figured I'd try to start dabbling in some of that. And as you can see, this is definitely a unique one. As usual, got the contraption out here, got the chrono, got 2 blocks of gel. Now these gel blocks have been pretty full up. This one on the far end got a bunch of them. This one on the front's just got one test between some SIG V crowns. I'll leave a link to that one if y'all hadn't checked that out. It was a pretty interesting test, but I think we got plenty of room to squeeze this one and one more in. But the name of the game on this one is 45 caliber, and namely the 45 ACP against the 45 Colt. And if you'll notice here, we got both critical defense, both 45 caliber, 185 grain FTX projectile on both of these. So the exact same ammo, just a little bit different caliber. Now, as far as the muzzle velocity that they're claiming, really close on that. We got 1,000 on the 45 ACP and 920 on the 45 Colt. Now, for tools, I had to get a little creative out here. So for the 45 ACP, I'm going to use the good old trusty Rock Island 1911 with the 5-inch barrel. The 45 Colt, I'm going to use the Taurus Judge. Now, this is the 6-inch model. Technically, 6-inch barrels, more like 6.5. It's got the Magnum chamber or Magnum cylinder on it, so it's a big boy, but with the cylinder gap loss and just the fact that it's a revolver, I think it'll pretty much equal these out. Even though it's got a longer barrel in this one, it should be pretty comparable as far as performance. But either way, this one should be pretty interesting. I've never done a 45 ACP against a 45 Colt, and I've done very little 45 Colt at all, to be honest with you. So should be some interesting stuff. So let me get everything set up and let's have some fun. All right, y'all, as always, let's get some speeds on these things and see what we got to work with here. We're gonna start out with the 45 ACP first. I'm gonna do 3 rounds of each one. So let's see what we got. The 185 grain critical defense. $997, 1,005, and 1,011, so fairly decent consistency, and we got pretty much what they was claiming we'd get. Let's check out the average on that. All right, so we got every bit of what they was claiming we'd get. The 3-round average on the 45 ACP was 1,004 feet per second. They was claiming 1,000 on the box, so good job on that. Let me get it reset. Let's check out the 45 Colt. All right, y'all, let's see what we can get out of this long boy. Same ammo, like I say, critical defense, 185 grainers. I'm gonna try to get 3 rounds out of this, but I'll be honest with you, I've tried a couple times already, and this chrono does not like the blast coming off of this thing at all. It's giving me readings all over the place. I got a couple of the valid readings around 1,000, 1,006, but then it'll jump up to like over 4,000. I've tried different positions, different lighting. It just don't like this muzzle blast. I've tried going back, going up, so I got 4 rounds in here. I'm gonna run them through there, and however many that looks decent enough, that's what we're gonna keep for sure. So let's see what we can get, y'all. $1,010. See, the 202 is wrong. The 4,000's wrong. And the 6,800 is definitely wrong. So we're going with that 1,010. I ain't even worried about trying to average. I've done shot about 10 rounds of this out here, trying to get this thing to cooperate all different distances. The other one I got, I had 1,006 and I had a 998. So it's right around 1,000, maybe a hair over is what the speed of this thing's running. All right, y'all, it's 45 out of my mind jelly time. I'm gonna start out with the 45 ACP. That crazy Judge, that chrono did not like that thing. I ain't had any trouble out of it all day, but it does not like that muzzle blast. I tried every distance I could and everything, but it looks like these are pretty much running about the same exact speed. Like I say, that Judge got anywhere from 999 to 1,010, so it's right there with this one. So should be an interesting test, but let's see if I can put this thing in one of them little clear spots. I'm gonna try to get fancy. I'm probably pressing my luck, but I'm gonna try to put this high and right. Let's see what we get, y'all. I can't tell where I went. Let me go down there and check that out and see what we got. All right, that was one of them shots that I'm really not happy with. It had its own independent entrance and its own wound channel, but it's just extremely close to the last test I did in here, so it's hard for y'all to see the wound channel. So I imagine this one's gonna do exactly the same distance, but like I said, I'd rather y'all be able to see the wound channel, so I'm gonna try to put it up a little bit higher this time. There we go. That's where I wanted to go the first time. That ought to be perfect. Let me go down there and make sure it stayed in. All right, let's see what we can do with this Colt, y'all. I'm gonna try to put this one low without going into the bottom of the block, but I can't afford to mess up too much. I didn't have even a full box of this. I didn't even notice it wasn't a full box, so I ain't got but a few rounds to spare out here. So I'm gonna try to put it right up under all that other cluster of stuff. Let's see what we get, y'all. There we go. That was pretty much perfect right there. Let me make sure everything stayed in, and let's go check that out. All right, y'all, let's check out what we got here. It's kind of jumbled up down here, but I'll show y'all what all we got, and I'll give you some different views where you can see, especially the 45 ACP better. So on the top here, very top, that's the 45 ACP. It came in a nice wound channel, shed a few of its copper petals right there, which is what made its area here, and stopped out here, and it rebounded a little bit, and it's sitting there backwards. It looks like it's expanded pretty well. Now the first one was back here. The first one's down there. You can see that right there is the first one. So it stopped. This one, it was basically the same. So like I say, that first one was valid. You just can't see the wound channel very well, as you can see, because it's behind another one, very close. You can see where it entered behind another one. So that one you can see really well though, and I'll take you to the other side so you can see even better. But now the 45 Colt, that's all by itself down there, so you can see everything. Came in nice wound channel. Looks like it started shedding some of its material here, dropped a couple of petals along the way, which he made even more nasty tearing wound action. So very nice spiral looking wound channel all the way from this 45 Colt, and it stopped down here. Looks like it's expanded really nicely too, sitting probably sideways, and looks like it got between 1 and 2 inches more penetration than these 45 ACPs. But let me get some measurements on the penetration, then I'll give y'all some different views. All right, so the 45 ACP, the first one went exactly 12¼ inches. The second one up here at the top, that's away from everything else, same thing, about 12 1/8. It went about 12 1/8 and then rebounded back all the way back to about 10 3/4, 11, something like that. But right, just a little over 12, like I say, 12 1/8 is what the 45 ACP got. Now the 45 Colt, it's down here. Forward momentum looks like about 13 3/4, so not quite as much as I thought over the 45 ACP. So, but still pretty decent penetration on both of them. But the wound channels are pretty gnarly. I'll give y'all some different angles here and let y'all check those out. So looking from above, this bottom one, that's the 45 Colt. You can see where it came in, spiraling along the way, and ends up stopped right down there. Looks like it's kind of sideways, opened up pretty nicely. I'll pull it here in a minute and show y'all. Now that top one right there, that's the 45 ACP. As you can see, quite a bit of rebound on that thing. You can see it pretty much went right out to where the first one did, because that one right there, that's the first one I took. As you can see, it's completely separate from the other wound channel, but I wanted to do this other one so y'all could see it better. So really nice wound channels on both of them. Here we are from the other side. That very top one, that's the 45 ACP. As you can see there, you can see where it dropped those petals off, made even more wound action down there. And then that first one, that's the first 45 ACP. Like I say, what you see in there is pretty much all its wound. It's got one behind it, but like I say, pretty nice wound channels from all three of those rounds. All right, y'all, let's take a look at these projectiles. Over here on the right, that's the 45 Colt. Over here on the left, these are the 45 ACPs. This 45 ACP right here and this 45 Colt looks about exactly the same. Now this 45 ACP didn't open up quite as much, but that being said, it's still a pretty monstrous expansion there. You can see these things opened up big time. I mean, mangled up, tore off some of their pedals from their jacket, but just some really nice expansion. Again, here's the two ACPs. Like I say, this one didn't open up quite as much, but it's nearly the same size. So very nice expansion out of both of these different, or all three of these rounds actually. Let's see how much material they left behind. Like I say, they obviously did. We can see the actual jacket in there. I don't know if it's any lead, but it probably is little speckles of it. So let's see what we got. The 45 Colt first, 179.9 left out of 185. The 45 ACPs, this one here, 178.8 left out of 185. And then this one here got 178.2 left. So they all lost about the same amount of material, oddly enough. All right, as far as expansion on them, let's check out the 45 Colt first. 0.69, 0.68, 0.70 right there. So nice expansion off of that 45 Colt. Now, this 45 ACP, this one is the one that looks pretty much just like that Colt. 0.694, 0.693, and 0.6935. So pretty much about the same as that 45 Colt. Let's check this other ACP. This one looks a little bit smaller, but probably not much. So 0.68, 0.675, and 0.677. So a little bit smaller, but not much. Still excellent expansion off of all three of those. But there you go, the 45 Colt versus the 45 ACPs. Virtually no difference in these two rounds. The velocity was pretty much the same. The penetration was a little bit further on the 45 Colt for whatever reason. Expansion, virtually the same on them. Wound channels look extremely similar. So both of these rounds you're pretty much looking at about the same round when you're talking about the same weight. So pretty interesting stuff doing the caliber versus caliber. Now, granted, these were the same caliber, but still interesting nonetheless. All right, y'all, another jelly test down. This one was pretty interesting. This is something, like I say, that people have been asking me to do, a caliber versus caliber kind of testing. Now, granted, these were the same caliber technically, but I guess I should call this more round versus round. But that being said, I got one more test planned. I'm gonna try to get squeezed in out here, and it's gonna be caliber versus caliber. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that one. But as for the results here, I really can't call a winner off of this one. They both almost had identical performance. They got extremely similar foot-pounds of energy, extremely similar wound channels. Penetration is very similar on them. Expansion looks nearly identical. So I don't think there really was a winner or loser on this one at all. Regardless, both of them would put some big old holes in whatever they was going into. So y'all let me know down in the comments though, if you was picking a winner here, which would be the winner. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you reach down and click that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon. Hopefully you can get notified when I upload new stuff by doing that. Check out my Amazon affiliate storefront link in the description. If you shop through there anyway, click that link up first. It goes right through Amazon like normal from there. And anything you buy anywhere on Amazon after going through that first, I get a kickback from towards the channel. So that really does help, and I appreciate that. Again, I'll mention, check out the actual affiliate links down below for these GS Extreme earbuds and a few other different models that I have links for down there. Buying through those links save you a ton of money versus going through the website. So if y'all are interested in some nice ear pro, check those links out down below. Appreciate all my range game members out there for clicking that join button. That does help, so I really appreciate that. Appreciate every single person who watches my videos, thumbs up, subscribes to the channel, and leave me them comments down below. Let me know what y'all think about these tests and what other caliber versus caliber or round versus round type of testing might y'all be interested in seeing. It's been a long day of jelly testing out here. I got one more I'm gonna try to squeeze in, so y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for more stuff on the way. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.